Have you noticed that rainfall in Nigeria does not always behave the way it used to? The rain may arrive earlier or later than expected. It may stop for several weeks during the growing season and then suddenly fall heavily within a short period. For farmers who depend on rain to produce food, these changes can make the difference between a good harvest and poor one. Nigeria is highly dependent on rainfall for agricultural production. According to Nigerian Meteorological Agency, rainfall information is particularly important for agriculture because farmers need to know when the rainy season is likely to start, when it will end, how long the growing season will last, and how much rainfall to expect. And this is becoming increasingly important as rainfall patterns become more variable. In this video, let's look at how changing rainfall patterns are affecting Nigerian farmers. The first problem is the timing of rainfall. Farmers often use the beginning of rains to decide when to plant, but an early rain does not necessarily mean that the rainy season has actually started. NiMet warns that farmers can mistake isolated pre-season rainfall for the true onset of the rainy season. If a farmer plants after such an early rain and rains disappear, seeds may fail to germinate or young crops may die. NiMet therefore advises farmers to use reliable seasonal climate information when deciding when to plant. Another problem is longer or more frequent dry spells during the growing season. Imagine a farmer plants maize after receiving good rainfall, only for the rain to stop for 2 or 3 weeks. The crop may experience water stress, particularly during the critical stages such as germination, flowering, and grain filling. In 2026 seasonal climate prediction, NiMet warned of dry spells lasting up to 21 days during the June to August period across several northern and central parts of Nigeria. This is long enough to seriously affect rain-fed crops if there is no alternative source of water. But changing rainfall does not always mean too little rain. Sometimes the problem is too much rain within a short period. Heavy rain can cause flooding, waterlogging, and soil erosion. When water flows rapidly across farmland, it can carry away valuable topsoil and nutrients, and the consequences can be enormous. For example, FAO reported that between 1st and 15th October 2024, floods in Nigeria affected more than 9.2 million people and submerged about 4.5 million hectares of land, including approximately 1.6 million hectares of farmland. FAO estimated that potential production losses of maize, sorghum, and rice in the flooded areas could reach about 1.1 million tons. Recent evidence also shows how serious the problem is becoming. According to a 2026 World Bank analysis, partial crop losses in Nigeria increased from about 6% of plots in 2018/2019 to more than 20% in 2023/2024. The World Bank found that weather and environmental factors, including flooding and excessive rainfall, were the single largest contributor to crop losses nationwide. This tells us something important. The problem is not only the complete crop failure. Farmers can also harvest something, but far less than they expected. When rainfall becomes unpredictable, farmers face several problems. They may plant at the wrong time. They may need to replant after crop failure. They may spend more money on seeds, fertilizer, labor, and land preparation. Ultimately, lower production can contribute to higher food prices and reduced farm income. So, what can farmers do? First, don't rely on traditional assumptions about the beginning of the rainy season. Pay attention to reliable weather and climate information from NiMet and trusted sources. Second, consider adjusting planting dates according to the expected rainfall pattern. Third, use short duration or climate resilient crop varieties where appropriate. Fourth, improve soil's ability to hold water through practices such as mulching, adding organic matter, and reducing unnecessary soil disturbance. Fifth, where possible, invest in water harvesting and irrigation to reduce dependence on rainfall alone. And finally, diversify crops and income sources so that one rainfall shock does not completely destroy the family's livelihood. Changing rainfall patterns are creating new challenges for Nigerian farmers, but climate-smart agriculture gives us tools to adapt. The goal is not to fight the weather. The goal is to understand it, plan for it, and farm more intelligently. Remember, we cannot control when the rain falls, but we can improve how we prepare for it. This is Grow Smart and More. Follow for more practical lessons on climate smart agriculture.